Welcome back to part 2 of the Shoredive in Cuba. So the rest of this video is basically the continuation of part 1's drift. As I'm drifting over the reef here, I'm just trying to just navigate through this really dense coral structures and caves and everything, and just trying to, hunt the best I can. It's really incredible just seeing the reefs over in this region. They're even healthier than ours when it comes to like the coral and everything. Of course, just like anywhere, some parts are more, fished than others. But you'll see in this video, I hit a couple pretty decent areas. I actually got in a nice grouper hunt coming up here, and it's just interesting diving through these coral cities like this, which is a good and a bad thing. I deal with the same thing back home when I go near dry tortugas. Sometimes big coral is great and all, but there's just so many places for the fish to go that you don't even always get to see them. So, but nevertheless, it's incredible just diving these reefs, and I hope you all enjoy this part 2. Thank you. Starting to get a little further now. It's hard to tell, but I'm further down the beach. Just trying to go up the surface current with the wind. It's not much, but it's not going against me, so that's all that matters. It's good to go down on reefs like this and try to cause a little commotion. A lot of fish are naturally, their feeding habits are naturally attracted to basically with a lot of commotion, like sand moving or noises like hitting a rock or anything. Or you can call them too. That's another thing I try to do. On reefs like this, you'll never know what might pop up. Even though you're at the surface looking and don't see anything, it doesn't matter. Right here, if you look closely in the middle, you can see a grouper right here going across. My goal is to not swim straight down on the fish. I want to kind of go at an angle as I'm uninterested. Basically, you don't want to seem like a predator, more like a passing nurse shark or a ray or something. course, it's not a perfect solution, but that's kind of what you aim for with fish like this. So I'll go down at an angle. Fish is already ready to go though. See right here, he does a spin, takes off the other way. He knows he's being hunted already. So I use this window here. Even if 3 bands, it pulled out. Crazy sometimes, double barbs too. But all's not lost yet. Good shot and everything, but the barbs didn't deploy. I just gotta search the reef here. I know the fish can't go too far. I mean, depending on the species, this species tends to not go super far. I mean, especially with the first hole up. Sometimes they will hole up and keep moving, but unlike a cabera or something, they'll usually do it nearby. Problem is, as I've said before, this is like a city down here. There's just so many little caves. A lot of chromis on this reef. You can see them hanging above the rocks. It's a good sign. A lot of grouper like to feed on them. My buddy over here is looking too. Got a good idea where he's at now, so Gonna make another dive, try to put another shot in this fish. Been investigating for about 5 to 10 minutes. As you can see, he's got a better view of where it went.
You see him? You see?
You see a little bit of smoke coming out of this area here. Sometimes an indication that a bigger fish is in the spot, but it can also be like smaller fish like grunts and everything like that just kicking the bottom up. So right here I see the fish, but it keeps moving. It's a maze of rocks. Sinuses are getting worse. It's just part of diving for a while like this, especially when you don't have as much fresh water as you'd like. Always remember to stay hydrated, whether freediving or scuba. Freediving, especially for your sinuses, but scuba, you get the bends a lot more, so it's always a reason to be super hydrated when you dive. The key is finding not only where the fish is, but the right angle to be able to shoot it at, where you can actually pull the fish out too. I ended up shooting it through this hole right here, which I couldn't actually even pull the fish out correctly, but you'll see what I have to end up doing. It's part of the game sometimes with this. Good shot though. Now for the extraction though, that's half the battle. It's a good thing though we're not, in very deep water. I mean, it's only about, 60, 65 feet to the sand there, so it's nothing that takes too much prep in between. In order to get this thing out, with it being bigger than the actual hole I shot it through, first step is I gotta kill the fish first. Gotta find a way to reroute it after that. Now I got the spear out of the fish. And it's already dead, because I knifed it on the last dive. Now I just have to push it out a different opening in the rock. Got him. Good size yellowfin grouper. It's not a bad sized fish at all. You can see the old scars it has towards the back of its tail fin. These fish eat really good too, so can't complain. A little lionfish here. Definitely not one to eat, but these things spread like wildfire. I remember years ago when I first seen these things show up where I live in the Keys, Florida Keys. It's just, all of a sudden I saw like 2 or 3 on a wreck, and I was just never seen it before. I'm like, what the hell? And then next thing I know, within a year from there, it was almost every deeper wreck just had, over 20 or so at least, and it just got worse. But good thing people are catching on to how great they taste. I mean, they're one of the best tasting fish, and they happen to be invasive, so you definitely can find plenty of them. Notice this one in this cave down here. Got unload a little bit, overpowered. This is a good eating size lionfish right here, though. Yeah, be careful with these guys, though. I mean, they're edible, they're great eating, and they're not poisonous, which is why, you can eat them, of course, but they are venomous. So, you just gotta get rid of the venomous spines, though, whenever you can, especially if you have to handle them like this. Works better with scissors, but that's how you do it with a knife. But a lot of people don't realize is that the tail fin is not actually venomous, and the side fins aren't venomous either. It's mainly the dorsal, the pectoral, and the anal fins. Yeah, with scissors this would be done in half this time, but I sped it up a little bit for you guys. Definitely not the preferred way to cut a lionfish, but it works. Just be careful if you've never been stung by one before, because that's always the worst time. I've been hit about 8 times, and every time it gets easier, for sure. It's not even that big of a deal now, I feel like, when I get hit by them. Before, it throb, and it's distracting, but obviously I don't want to get hit by them, but if I do now, it's just like, I don't know, feels like a bee sting, and I don't really swell up much anymore, so it's like anything. Subject yourself to it, and you get pretty immune to it. This little stringer is not made for this. Running out of room a little bit. You see the patches on my local friend's fins here. You can see the village in sight. Now I'm diving down for some conch. I've been seeing them the whole drift, but now's kind of the time to get them. We're starting to get close to the village. Man, this is actually one of the last shots I was able to make too with my GoPro, because it's actually running out of battery now. Good size, these ones. Get a good amount of meat out of the conch this size. I try to get 5 in one dive if I can, a lot of times. It's a good way to practice your free diving too, of course. Make sure you have a spotter, but you see how many you can get. 5 or 6 is normally what I try to go for. You get a little immobile if you get too many of them sometimes. Thanks to my buddy here, he grabs a couple of them so I can go and get more. Here's a GoPro, it's nice here. I got another GoPro battery after getting back to the village here so I can film the outcome. Got a couple conch here. Here's our stringer, some good eats. Nice yellowfin grouper, healthy. Some triggerfish, lionfish. Good little schoolmaster. Yeah, it was a great time doing this 5-mile shore dive like this. Just diving with locals and everything. It was just an incredible experience all around. I have some more shots coming up on the next few videos of Cuba, the different areas I swam out to and everything, and some other hunts. But this one was just a pretty cool, just in the life of some of these people and how they dive, you know, boatless, and just, you know, they do incredible dives, and they do an incredible job. You know, they go out there, they hunt, and they get it done. And even if they have to make some of their, you know, weapons or make some of their gear, like, they're incredible. Some of these people, they will get it done no matter what it takes. So much respect to these people that took me out and just, you know, swam this reef with me and everything. And so thanks to everyone who watched this too. So more videos to come soon. Thank you.
That's crazy. Y lo cocinan entero así.
Sí.
And they cook it whole like that. That is crazy. I never seen that technique in my life. Wow.
It's awesome.
It's awesome. Yeah. Wow. Only in Cuba, baby. You know how old is that gun? 20 years old.
Este es el pez cochino.
Nosotros decimos trigger.
Sí, este es el pez cochino y este es el sobaco. Son diferentes tipos.
Son diferentes.
Sí.
Entonces,